Okay. So when I uploaded my playoff predictions video, I said, you guys probably won't hear from me until after the playoffs because I didn't think that I was going to make a video until then. We are not even a full way through playoffs day number 1, and I already feel like we need to talk about it. So I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm just going to film some of my thoughts, I suppose, because everything has been going completely awry. So that BDS Empire Grand Final that we were talking about, yeah, well, they're both in the lower bracket already. In round 1, not only that, but MIBR beat Team Liquid, which I also predicted wasn't going to happen. And then, TSM FaZe is the other one, which is still ongoing. They're on a map 3 as we speak. So I actually woke up late after everything started today, about an hour and a half late, because I was up raiding on Destiny last night, so I didn't get much sleep. And then I've been sleeping on and off for a lot of the day. So there has been many things that I have missed. The Liquid MIBR game is one of them, because when I was deciding what to watch in the shower, I figured that I would watch the game that involves a region that I don't actually cast. You know, I've seen Liquid MIBR play a million times, and I thought, yeah, you know, Liquid have probably got this. Liquid MIBR admittedly could have been close because of the past performances between the two teams, but MIBR winning was not something I predicted. So I had the BDS Ninjas in Pajamas game up, and okay, I mean, absolute props to NIP. I saw them go to a third game. I fell asleep in the middle of the game, so I missed the end of it. But NIP being able to pull things out, we spoke about the miracle run that they did in the lower bracket last year. Maybe they won't even need to go to the lower bracket this year. I expected BDS to do a bit better and win, to be honest. And now I do genuinely question how far through the lower bracket they're going to get. And the same can absolutely be said about Team Empire. I watched all of the Empire OXG game. I thought Empire seriously had that game. This is something that I went into a bit of detail about on a Reddit comment, but back when I was casting Team Empire in EUL 2020, particularly in Stage 1, they played very similarly to how they did in this game versus OXG. And one thing that I would always look for to determine whether or not Empire were going to have a good day is how early Dan would get picked off, because Empire are a team that rely on Dan and Joystick so much in the early round, and if Dan and Joystick don't succeed in the early round, then the chances of the rest of the team being able to succeed in the late round is actually quite low. Despite the fact that they have really good supports on that team, they just can't hold their own weight if they're working against a man advantage. And that's exactly what happened here. Dan was being picked off really early. Joystick was absolutely getting punished. OXG just looked completely suffocating against everything that they were doing. They were just, and some of the decisions being made by Empire were very bizarre. There was one point where I saw Always was trying to throw in a flashbang like down through the floor on Clubhouse so that he could burn some more mine magnets, but he was standing right over the hole and Kino just walked up and threw a C4 to him. And I remember thinking, well, I saw that one coming. The point is, now all of these teams are in the lower bracket that we didn't expect to be in. And TSM FaZe is yet to be decided upon. Dark Zero Fury is currently ongoing. It didn't take very long for my playoff brackets predictions to be really fucking wrong. I guess we'll see what happens for the rest of the day. Yeah, hi everyone. So, things have progressed and we have an update, and the update is that I am now 0 for 5 on all of my predictions. Okay, FaZe beat TSM, and then Furia have just 2-0'd Dark Zero. I honestly thought the Dark Zero were gonna win that matchup. I'm very, very happy to see that Furia did, because I've never been the biggest fan of watching Dark Zero, and I find Furia incredibly interesting, and I like the whole hype story surrounding the fact that this is a team that nearly got relegated from Brazil that year, or last year, sorry, and they made it into SI, and they've done really well in the BR6 Stage 1, and now they're actually past the first round of playoffs, which is awesome. I love that. We're about to see Cloud9 versus Makers. Ugh. Okay, so I predicted Makers to beat Cloud9, I predicted Parabellum to beat Space Station. Am I going to go 0 for 7? We're gonna find out. Okay. Christ. So there was the really big power outage which happened for about 3 years. It gave me a really good opportunity to have a nap, which is, I mean, I definitely look like I've had a nap. Yeah, so there was Dark Zero Fury, which I know I already spoke about. That was just a weird game, and I'm not really sure what's happening with Dark Zero at the moment, but that was a really exciting game. And then we just had Cloud9 Makers, which was allowed to be finished up because it started before the power outage happened. It's the only prediction that I got right all day, actually. I thought the Makers would win that best of 3, and they did, which is disappointing for Cloud9. It means that there's no more APAC teams left in the competition. But I've been really enjoying the way the Makers have been playing. I like the idea of there being this essentially tier 3 team that comes and makes this cool run in the World Championships. Almost akin to what Team Empire were back in 2019. So that's the only one that I got correct today. I think it's a huge shame that they weren't doing SSG Team 1 today as well, despite the fact that it was only a tiny bit behind C9 Makers. I would have liked to have known how that one was going to turn out, but I'll have to wait till tomorrow. So looking at the current bracket that we have and just seeing what games are going to be played. Parabellum G2, I'm going to stick with my prediction of Parabellum. Why not? I'm not going to change a prediction I already have. Team 1 SSG, I predicted Team 1, so I'm going to stick with those two. BDS Furia, I think the BDS will probably have that one. So I'll go with BDS. TSM Makers, genuinely, I could see it go either way, but I think realistically, it's more likely to be TSM. OXG MIBR, that could be a really crazy game, and I'm actually very excited for that one. OXG played phenomenally today, so it's really hard to say anything against them, but I suppose as a LATAM caster, I've just been more exposed to the way that MIBR play, so I'm probably going to go with MIBR there, but that is not a confident prediction at all. NIP FaZe Clan, these two teams, every time they come up against each other, is an absolutely wild game. Personally, I actually, so I didn't think that NIP would continue on into the upper bracket. I thought they'd go down into the lower bracket. The fact that they have continued on into the upper bracket and they looked really strong in their game against BDS today, I actually think that has set them up in a spot where right now I could actually see them winning this best of 3 against FaZe Clan and going through into the upper bracket finals. So I will actually say NIP for tomorrow, which isn't something that I would have said a couple of days ago, but they've impressed me, especially today. So today was an absolutely wild day. My predictions are very wrong. Many of you were commenting on my YouTube video from before saying that it didn't age very well. Totally agree. This is not something I'm going to do every single day. I just thought today was so out of whack that it would be funny to do a kind of video, sort of recording my thoughts as the day went on. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys soon. I don't know when the next video will be, but let's keep hoping for some insanity in the 6 Invitational. See you guys.